Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac. Coming up, Dominica says a hearty thank you to the government and people of Japan, and Casa Bruce MP proposes farm tourism for Casa Bruce. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Thanks for staying with us. The government of Dominica, and in particular the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is saying a hearty thank you to the government and the people of Japan. This stems from an over 20-year friendship between the two countries since Dominica established bilateral relations with Japan in 1978. 2014 marks the Japan-CARICOM Friendship Year, designated by Japan to recognize 2 decades since the first Japan-CARICOM consultation in 1993. Mrs. Sonia Akpa is the Director of Political Affairs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and CARICOM Affairs. She says of the many programs that Dominica has benefited from with assistance from Japan, the grassroots program stands out.
One we have benefited a lot from is what is called the Japan Grassroots Humanities Project, which is, they really provide funding for small development projects, about $83,000 US dollars per project, and they have funded many projects in the area of education. The most recent, well, for this year, they provided an ambulance to the Red Cross Society and cafeterias for the Trafalgar Primary School. Calls in Portsmouth has received funding under that project. They have provided fencing for some schools and in other areas as well. There is the Japanese Overseas Cooperation Volunteers Project is another one that we have benefited significantly from. It was suspended for a little while this year, but it's going to come back on stream next year. And Japan, under that project, they provide the services of young volunteers who are experts in their fields.
Japan has given assistance to Dominica through their official development assistance, which consists of both technical training in Japan and the Japanese Overseas Cooperation Volunteers, grant assistance for grassroots human security projects, cultural aid program, and grant aid for fisheries. A new addition to these grants is an industrial products grant introduced in 2014.
The Prime Minister earlier this year signed a $1 million US dollar agreement with the Ambassador of Japan, which will provide funding for what they call industrial products. So it's like heavy equipment, tools and supplies. The Ministry of Finance, Mr. Samuel Carrett, is the person responsible for that project. And that one I see as a real cooperation between the two countries, because they will provide the tools and supplies, but those tools and supplies and heavy equipment is going to be purchased from the area in Japan that was affected by the tsunami, because what they're trying to do is build back up that, economic development in that area. So it's like a win-win situation, really.
Since the establishment of bilateral relations between Dominica and Japan, Akpa says millions and millions of dollars have been spent to improve various sectors in Dominica, including fisheries, tourism, and culture. In fisheries alone, Japan has spent in excess of 51 million US dollars.
But I want to say too that it's not just one way, because we government of Dominica provides support to the Japanese government for various candidatures for international organizations like the United Nations, and that is extremely important to them. So it's not something that we can put a value on, But when they ask for support to become members of Committee on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, the United Nations Security Council, non-permanent seats, and all of those UN organizations, that is something that is extremely important to Japan.
In more news, the Casper's constituency will soon see a boost in community tourism. Recently, the Honorable Member of Parliament for that constituency, Honorable Johnson Drago, revealed to GIS News that he is looking to introduce farm tourism in his constituency.
One of the areas that we will give heightened attention as well is the whole question of farm tourism. We hope that we can develop some specific farms where we will have demonstration plots where the tourists can come and understand how the plants are grown and understand how the tea bags process is made, but not only tea bags, but the local tea itself. So they will experience the tea and all of that and so on, the vegetables and so. So we will work with that. So we're looking forward to that aspect of the constituency as well. So there are a lot of plans that we have for the Casablanca constituency, but it will not be done in isolation. We're going to need all the constituents on board to work with us.
The Casablanca constituency already has 35 available guest rooms thanks to the government of Dominica, which contributed a lot to the development of the tourism sector in 2013. This forms part of a comprehensive plan the Honorable MP has for his constituency in the new term. He revealed that a track record of hard work is one of the reasons why he believes he was re-elected to serve his people. As the new Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Drago, promises a boost in that sector for his constituency. He also pledges to continue working in education, housing and village expansion, employment, youth empowerment, and care for the elderly. Meanwhile, the Honorable Minister says he recognizes the hard work of farmers on the island. In a recent interview with GIS News, Honorable Drago explained that although the banana and plantain subsectors have undergone severe damage from the black sigatoka disease, farmers on the island continue to persevere. He says government has done extensive work in the fight against the disease, and with the introduction of the Banana Accompanying Measures BAM project, more will be done in the coming year. Honorable Drago, in speaking about his approach to directing the ministry, says his aim is to create a harmonized program to see healthy produce from farm to market. The first-time minister spoke to GIS News about how he intends to achieve this goal.
It's coming into the ministry with a humble approach towards serving people, with a humble approach towards understanding people, working with people with a common interest and to get the desired results. That's my mission, to work with people and get the results that we're looking for.
The minister, however, noted that success in the agriculture sector will come as a result of all stakeholders working together. He made this appeal to farmers and those involved in agriculture.
Let us redouble our effort in 2015. Let us look at all the challenges we face. Let us look at our very own shortcomings in overcoming these challenges, and let us work for Dominica. Let us work for the agricultural sector's role in the advancement of Dominica in general. So I'm really looking forward to my office is open, but as I said before, I'm not going to be sitting at the office. I want to meet farmers, I want to meet persons involved in the livestock sector, I want to meet persons involved in the fishing industry, I want to meet persons involved in forestry, because forestry is also very, very important. Forestry is so important to our tourism sector. So it's like a chain. It's like a chain. And let's find where the weakest links are, and let's bind them together.
Also this news time, thanks to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, more Dominican students will be given the opportunity to pursue their education in the field of medicine. According to the Venezuelan ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Hayden Perilla, 17 students are being afforded this opportunity to study in Venezuela come February 2015.
También quiero saludar a los estudiantes que marchan para Venezuela en el próximo mes de febrero. I also want to greet the students that are actually leaving in February.
Muchos de ustedes no saben,
Many of you all do not know,
Venezuela acaba de dar 17 becas escolares, becas para estudiar medicina.
Venezuela just gave to 17 Dominicans the chance to study medicine in Venezuela.
Y ese es producto de la alianza que tenemos con Dominica.
And this is a product of the alliance that we have with Dominica.
Así que al cabo de 6 años,
And so in the next 6 years,
Dominica va a tener 17 nuevos médicos.
Dominica will have 17 new doctors.
Okay.
Pirillo was speaking at a conference for regional integration of Latin America and the Caribbean earlier this month. The Petit Savan Reunion Committee is seeking to provide a more comfortable environment for students of the Petit Savan Primary School. President of the Petit Savan Reunion Committee, Claudius Lestrade, has revealed the plans for the official groundbreaking of a picnic center at the primary school. Addressing the committee's award ceremony on Sunday 28th, Lestrade indicated that this center has been long awaited.
It's a historic event that the Reunion Committee, in collaboration with one of our financial institutions in Dominica, have secured funds to make a picnic center where our kids can stop sitting on the steps or sitting behind, but sit in a comfortable area where they can have their snack, their lunches, and recreate. So the Reunion Committee has achieved such activity.
According to the committee's president, the opening of the center is scheduled to take place by the third week of January 2015. And before we go, here are a few announcements. Vacancy exists for one consultant accountant within the Office of the Director of Audit. As part of the EU-funded Public Financial Management Reform Program, an accountant will provide technical assistance over a 6-month period. The successful candidate will be expected to train officers on how to perform the following tasks in a proactive manner under the supervision of the Director of Audit. Develop, monitor and review departmental accounting policies, procedures and processes. Audit and prepare financial statements in accordance with relevant guidelines, frameworks and statutory requirements. Conduct performance reviews of government ongoing programs and conduct performance reviews of statutory corporations and government-owned companies. The ideal candidate should possess at least a first degree in accounting or other related field, at least professional qualifications in accounting from a recognized accounting body, ACCA, CGA or similar. General professional experience. Knowledge of principles and procedures for compensation and benefits, knowledge of laws, legal codes, government regulations and executive orders, knowledge of business and management principles, knowledge of economic and accounting principles and practices and the analysis and reporting of financial data. Specific professional experience. At least 5 years professional experience in accounting. Knowledge of commonly used concepts, practices and procedures within the field of business administration. Applications including curriculum vitae should be submitted no later than Wednesday, 31st December 2014 at 12 p.m. to the National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund Office of the NAO/EDF, 3rd floor, Financial Center, Kennedy Avenue, P.O. Box 1102, Rosa Dominica, or email to edf@cwdom.dm. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has received financing from the Global Environment Facility through the United Nations Environment Program to support the preparation of Dominica's 3rd National Communications to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. Part of this funding is to be utilized to hire national consultants to undertake technical studies and draft the national report. The government of Dominica is seeking expressions of interest from suitably qualified national consultants who have at least 5 years' experience in the following areas: greenhouse gas inventory from energy transportation, solid waste and industrial processes, inventory of carbon sinks forest, inventory of carbon sinks agriculture, climate change mitigation including renewable energy, energy efficiency and energy conservation, mainstreaming climate change into national development planning, training, public education outreach on climate change, and systematic observation systems for climate change, including hydrometeorological systems. Work on this project will commence in January 2015 and will be completed by May 2016. Successful applicants will be expected to start work on or before February 2nd, 2015. Any persons interested in being considered for any of the above positions are requested to submit their current curriculum vitae and letter of interest to the following: Director, Environmental Coordinating Unit, Roseau, Fisheries Complex, Damien Jr. Charles Boulevard, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica. Telephone number 266-5256, fax 448-4577. Email ecu@dominica.gov.dm. Submissions can be submitted electronically or in writing to the above address and must be received no later than Wednesday, January 7th, 2015 at 4 p.m. Expressions of interest received after this date will not be considered. Private candidates registered to write the January 2015 CXC examinations are asked to collect their timetables from the local registrar's office during normal office hours. Please be guided accordingly. And look out for our annual Year in Review, which will be aired on January 1st, 2015 from 8 a.m. and throughout the rest of the month. And that's the English news. Coming up, a health tip about honey.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
The black Sikatuka fungus can survive on banana and plantain leaves even after they have been cut from the tree. Farmers and hucksters are encouraged to use alternate cushioning material when moving produce from farm to the market. Do not use banana and plantain leaves as cushioning. It is against the law to move banana and plantain trash from the field. Obey the law and stop the spread of black Sikatuka today.
Many people think that honey is a type of sugar with calories that negate your weight loss efforts. Actually, honey contains sugar, but unlike refined sugar, honey contains vitamins and minerals too. Normally, to digest sugar, the vitamins and minerals stored in the body are utilized, rendering the body devoid of these nutrients, which are essential to dissolve fats and cholesterol. Thus, when you eat too much sugar, you tend to increase weight, not just because of the calories, but due to lack of vitamins and minerals. On the contrary, honey, being a good source of nutrients, actually helps reducing weight. So try getting more honey in your diet. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscast on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Tasia Floissac. Thanks for watching.